Hi, this is Phoenix, and I had an announcement. Until November 21st of 2017, my poetry book Pocket Words is going to be free for download, which you can find on my Amazon page at amazon.com/author/phoenix_rises. I hope that you'll download your free copy. Uh, I would acknowledge that Pocket Words isn't a perfect collection of poems, but it is very concise, and even though the poems may be different because they are a little experimental, I still see the poems as capable of being pocketed for later use. That was a really fun poetry collection because many of the poems were very short, and even though I was using very specific abstract kind of language, there's a way in which I think the brevity of the poems and the conciseness of the poems, which are literally less than 30 words sometimes, has a lot to say about art and our conceptions of many different things in society, such as beauty or truth. Um, though I would say that the experimental edge was also part of what I was doing in the sense that I was hoping to have a creativity of language. And by edge, I don't mean necessarily cutting edge. I just mean kind of with an attitude or with a kind of spunk. And that's exactly why I have the phrase pocket this, because I hope that you'll pocket my poems and take them out when you need them, especially because many of the poems were written um, very briefly and very shortly on like scraps of paper. I have a fine recollection of those memories of writing those poems. Indeed, I was manic for a lot of them and struggling with something with many of the poems, and writing the pocket poems allowed me to just get that extra ounce of writing out into the world. Even after I'd already written a lot that day, 2,000 words in a book, as well as a longer poem. And then to finally do that on a scrap of paper or a bank slip was really meaningful for me. I know that Pocket Words isn't a perfect collection of poetry. I know that Pocket Words is flawed in some ways because my writing can be flawed in some ways, but I don't necessarily shoot for perfection. I write these things and I create these books because I have something to share, and I hope that you can identify and relate to some of the stuff that I have to say, and hopefully the world will seem a little less scary. Writing for me has always indeed been a way of retreating into the world of ideas and poetry and fiction, philosophy, and that's always given me hope that there are these kind of eternal concepts, to use a Platonic idea, that gives me a lot of hope when I'm struggling in my day-to-day life. And as you can definitely tell with the background story of what I was doing when I was writing those poems for Pocket Words. So I know that in many ways I am an amateur writer and I still have a lot to learn, but I'm definitely enthusiastic about this journey. And I hope that you'll check out my poetry books as well as my other books, because indeed I'm trying to convey something meaningful. And I think that it's important that we partake of each other's ideas and really think through all of the many grand truths and philosophical ideas and poetic ideas that are in the world. Anyway, this is Phoenix, and I hope that you enjoyed this little talk. And I hope that you can indeed find meaning in at least some of my ideas and some of my work, even if indeed we may not always agree. This is Phoenix, and thank you.